The Devils have made multiple moves. This is huge, including the return of Cody Glass to the Devils lineup, and we'll give you an update on a defensive move New Jersey made and see if that impacts Seamus Casey. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Devils Digest. I'm your host, Ryan the Goose Gosiker, here with you, as always, bringing you the latest, greatest Devils content. Before we get into the program, I want to give you a chance to be a subscriber to the channel, okay? Really important if you want to stay up to date on Devils news and the Devils Digest, updates and videos that we put out there. Become a subscriber. We're close to that 900 mark. Goal is to get to that 1,000 plateau, okay? And then we'll keep reaching from there. So be a subscriber to the channel, okay? And if you have a comment on the video tonight, any video, anytime, leave us a comment. We always like checking them out from our viewers. Now, let's get into the program, okay? Talking about the Devils' big game tonight against the Canadiens, coming off that terrible road trip that they have, really awful. Okay, the one big win in Los Angeles, which I don't want to completely disregard, okay, because it was a really good win against a team that's going to finish, really well this year, okay? New Jersey handled business. However, in the other three games, they pretty much look like a JV hockey team, okay? And we'll get to some of the numbers, especially in that road trip, that really just absolutely killed them. Okay, but looking at tonight, they play the Canadiens at home. Canadiens coming in a little bit hot, especially on offense, okay? One of the big things for New Jersey is going to be the return of Cody Glass to the lineup. One of the big things has been having guys like Brenden have to play up, and they got to play the 3C spot, and then, because we already knew this was a spot, again, we mentioned Tom Fitzgerald didn't address it in the offseason, really, okay? They flip-flop Mercer sometimes to 3C, but really Mercer's been playing really well on the wing, okay, up with Meier and Hischier, okay, so they kind of need to keep him up there. The return of Cody Glass allows that to happen. Now Brenden can, fall back down to his normal spot at 4C, and the Devils can kind of lengthen and deepen that center spot a little bit more as they get going into tonight's matchup with the Canadiens. So let's take a look real quick. Okay, Cody Glass was skating with the third line. The other news kind of out of this, and it's not major news, but Palat to the third line. Okay, this is something we talked about, right? I don't want him on the roster. Okay, $6 million to play the third line just isn't good enough for me. But for right now, this is where Palat's going to be. And Griciuk, I would love to see him get more opportunity in that top six. And I think the way he is playing will allow him to get more opportunity in the top six as the season continues to progress. Haula looks like to be the extra defenseman skater today at practice, okay? So looks like he'll be out of the lineup. Some of the lines that were used, you can kind of see them here, okay? Cholowski, Dillon, Hughes, Siegenthaler, Hamilton on your defense. But as you can see, Cody Glass, Griciuk, Palat back, Cotter, Laminko, and Brenden. Brenden is going to slide out for this game. So or slide out to the wing, I should say, not out of the lineup, but out to the wing for this game. Top lines look similar to what we expect. Nason, Hughes, Bratt, okay, Meier, Hischier, Mercer. Okay, so those are the Devils lineup for tonight. Okay, what we expect to be, that was what the lines were at skate. We expect them to be the same. As I mentioned, Cody Glass returning from injury, just really great news for New Jersey. Bad news for New Jersey, obviously, is that Brett Pesce now goes to IR. And we kind of figured this was going to happen, okay? He's still out at least a month is what we've been told, okay? And we'll see what happens from there as New Jersey continues to go along. They need him back, okay? They need him back in the worst ways, okay? Because one of the problems is who they're calling up to help replace him, okay? Connor Brown, again, out tonight, okay? He's still working his way back, so we'll see when he's ready to go. Maybe Sunday when the Devils host Pittsburgh, or if that's Saturday. I forget what the official date is on that one, so forgive me for forgetting that one. But as we were talking about this, Devils bringing up a defenseman, and it's not going to be Seamus Casey. It's going to be Colton White. Now, the reason the Devils would do something like this is to go of a more, and you can see how Amanda puts it here, a little bit more defensive defenseman type than necessarily an offensive defenseman, which we know Seamus Casey is. Now, White is not in the lineup tonight, okay, but he's certainly going to be up there and potentially should get a couple games here, switching in and out with Cholowski, okay? So, but they definitely need, they need some of that defenseman, right? That's what Brett Pesce is. Brett Pesce's not scoring 75 points a season, but he's doing all the dirty work, okay? So, just some updates, recap. Cody Glass, back. Connor Brown, not yet. Brett Pesce to IR. We expected that, okay? Colton White now getting the call up instead of Seamus Casey, okay? The last thing I want to talk about is tonight's game. The Devils are home. They're back in their own building. They're back at the Rock. And in 2025, so far, again, small sample size, okay? So this is not going to be indicative of the entire season. However, so far, the Devils have been really, really good at home. And they have been really, really average on the road. Okay? Now, you see that 5-4 away, or 4-4, away from home. They've still gotten 8 points out of that. They're 5-0 at home. And what I really want you to look at is the goals and the goals allowed. At home this season, the Devils have scored 19 goals and have allowed 9. Okay? That's a differential of plus 10. On the road, they have scored 27, okay, which out of 8 games on the road, that's still over 3 goals a game, but they've allowed 31 goals on the road. 31. Now, you're going to say, well, Goose, part of that skewed from the recent road trip. You're right, okay, you're right, but that still has to go into account, okay, and look at the PK percentage. Devils at home, their penalty kill is 94.1% at home. 82.1% on the road. Now that one, even more so, skewed from the Colorado game. But that's what happens. And we know right now that anomalies really can affect what these numbers look like. But the story for New Jersey has been, we want to play at the Rock. So their strength has been at home. Okay, they're back. Jacob Markstrom's going to be in net. All right, the place should be loud tonight. I've been looking at tickets all day, seeing if I wanted to grab a last-second ticket, and I just checked about 15 minutes ago, and it looks almost dead in terms of tickets still available. So a lot of people going to be at the Rock tonight. Enjoy the game, enjoy the experience. Okay, Aiden's got you on post-game tonight. All right, but some huge moves for New Jersey, getting Cody Glass back, hopefully lengthening that center position for them. Lamico and Glendening can hold it down on the fourth line. Glass back in that third line. Gritzuk, just hoping that guy continues to play, and hopefully he's still eating Chipotle, enjoying life. Okay, it's going to be fun to watch. New Jersey Devils hockey off to a interesting start to start the 2025-2026 season. So Devils back in action tonight. First game at home in November. Get the Rock rocking and enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it, and I appreciate and hope you enjoy this content here on Devil's Digest, okay? Whether you're listening, whether you're watching, whether you're doing both, I appreciate however you're consuming this content. I want you to be a part of the discussion, okay? Leave us a comment. What do you think? All right, want to hear your opinion. And I love bringing you Devils hockey content, so it's always a pleasure. And we'll catch you next time on Devil's Digest.